Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. And we have some cool things to talk about today. We've got the Duskbloods. Some reports are popping up, indicating, gosh, we might learn something about it very soon, or possibly even get to play it soon in our own homes, as it's looking like, according to a couple of reports, its release date is as early as next month. We've got Famitsu Sales to go over. We've got Mario updates on the new toy line to talk about. And I'm sure there will be some more things to discuss today, from shorts to what are you all playing, how's the channel doing, how are you doing, etc. Hope you're all doing well. I'm getting the pop-out chat open, and we are good. Crazy Scoth is here. What's up, Crazy Scoth? Welcome. David Patterson is here. Good afternoon. Hello, David. How are you doing today? While it seems to be just the two of you for now. Actually, no, it looks like there are 9 people. While you all come on in, I'm going to update the subscription count. Wow, 8,600. Ooh, that's cool. So yesterday we were at 8,583. And since then, we've received 18 new subscribers to the channel. That's cool. 8,601. And we're looking at, this number changes constantly, something like 444 total members. Although that might go up at the end of today or tomorrow, as YouTube sometimes takes a little bit of time to, update their totals. But at least right now I have 844. Correction! Ash coming in hot 2 minutes into the stream with a dono. Big thank you, Ash, for that awesome contribution bright and early in the stream, getting us officially to 445. And let's see, our stream total then is also at the dollar mark. Support is always appreciated, but when it's in like the first minute or two, man, does that set the tone for coolness, Thank you, Ash. And we are definitely at 445 now. Pokemon Fan 34, Paul, you're streaming later. It is a little bit later. Yeah, instead of like 10:40, it is 11:40. So yeah, it is about an hour later. But welcome. Hopefully enough people who are normally here show up, and maybe some new folks that old time is a little bit too early for them are here now. Let's see. Who got Ash Gaming 17's membership? It was Atlas NFT. So shout outs to Atlas NFT. Whoa! Woo! Not only did Ash just do that dollar, but Ash just did another 5, bringing us up to 6 total for the stream, and 5 makes it 450. 450 members officially. Thank you, Ash, for the additional 5. You're on a roll. 2 minutes into the stream, now 4 minutes into the stream. Gamerpunk, Insomniac, Moonbeam, Jason Blom, and Egomaniac87. Excellent to see. Big thank you, Ash. Pokemon Fan 34. Shouting out Ash. Heck yeah. I see a few of you talking to each other. Yes. Nerdy Paul is here. Switch 2 Xenoblade Chronicles X upgrade Shadow Drop hype. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You know, even without a general Nintendo Direct, you've got stuff that just comes out of nowhere constantly with Nintendo. We're always getting bits of entertainment. Way cool. You like 1 p.m. your time? What is it now? 1:45 your time? Or 2:45? Something like that? I don't know if you're Central or East. Linda Ray is here. Nalacat, you made it. Excellent. Nash is right. Nash is right regarding what? You're Eastern. Cool, cool. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna keep plugging this one. You know what? We have new shorts that went up today. There are 2 new shorts. One is for Fire Emblem Fates, which released on this day for the Nintendo 3DS. The other one is for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. They're both up on the channel. But you know what? After seeing how well yesterday's Horizon Forbidden West did at 1,400, and how well Street Fighter V did from a couple of days ago at 3,000, I need to pump up my Street Fighter 4. Whoa! 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 Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Without any context, if there was like an audio listener right now listening, or you just had your phone off to the side and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be washing the dishes or making food or driving, which you're paying attention to the road and you're not, you know, looking down at the screen. If you just heard me go whoa, 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 whoa for like the last 20 seconds straight, that's because out of nowhere, on top of the super generous $6 that Ash already did, Ash Gaming 17 just sent 50. That's 50 memberships. Bringing us up, folks, just like that, to a beautiful 500. Incredible. On the day that we hit 8,601 total subscribers on the channel, all-time high, 8,600. Keep in mind, we just barely passed 8,000 at the end of last year, which means that this year, in the first month and 19 days, we hit just under, 600. You could call it 600, kind of. On the same day that we did that, Ash just brought us to 500 members. That is amazing. That's like 1 in every 17 people on the channel has a freaking membership. Giant thank you. This is going to take some time to read. Before I do that, let me just look really quick at a couple of the comments right before I scroll down this monstrous total from Ash. You know what? I got to do something else too, by the way. I got to do something else. Hold on a second. Oh boy, let's see. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do something cool here. Hang on now. Hang on with me for a moment. seriously, this is well deserved. Not just because you did 56 today, but you know, you always support. So let's do a pinned comment for Ash. And let's also put Ash right up here. Nice. Front and center. Ash has currently 1,500 subscribers, 1,000 plus videos. You could see him streaming. You could play with Ash and be a part of that community. Oftentimes Splatoon 3, but Mario Kart World as well. Pokemon Legends ZA 2. Check out Ash. We have some fine people here that do live streaming of gaming, like Ash, Roger Enyart, Tabby Cat Games. So I definitely recommend checking them all out. But for the pinned comment, check out Ash right there. And up nice and center here is Ash's channel. Holy cow. I have got to get to reading some monstrous memberships. Not gonna lie, I love Nintendo's love of shadow drops. I like surprising them. Xenoblade Chronicles was something that Nash said. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let's read Ash Gaming 17's 50 gifted memberships. My goodness. The Linnell Show, General AMC, Daru Shines, Charlie Smith, Anaya Print, Joshua 1, Starlactic, Leon S. Kennedy, Julian Gegenbach, and Darth Wario. That's 10. Corda Rock, Michael J., Nish Quick Pops, John Castle, Kika Switch, Dern Television, Mavis Winter, Relajo, 777. Stephen Peterson, V13. That's another 10. That's 20. Crazy Scott saying, I didn't get notifications for your shorts. Dang it, Crazy Scott. I hope you see them now. Tall Show, Get This Work, Darth Nerd, Enrique 95, Daniel Clinton, Welshland, Happy Gamer, Vito Libido, Charles Trudell, Larry Nintendo. That's another 10. That's 30. E. Samus Prime, Y. Visley, Jeff Shadow, Alayan Threes, TSG Brit, Merson Person, Mrs. Paul Gale Network, Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot, Bill 9971, and Gurgly Zliahi. That's another 10. That's 40. Woo, this is taking a while. Thank you, Ash. Holy cow. Beige 6410, Drawson CDK, BK Slick, Abram FFS, Cyborg, Wing Chunayus, OG Gamer, Turkey, Cookie Plays Goods, and Ewan Idiot. Wait, that would be like 51? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Somehow my fingers got to 51. Well, that is, well, no, because Ash did 56. I don't know how I got to 51. Because we did one earlier, another 5, and then 50. Well, I read them all off. Maybe my fingers were off slightly, but regardless, Ash just did a monstrous 1, 5, and 50 gifted memberships back to back to back. Thank you so much. If you check out the pinned comment right now on the stream, it is me promoting Ash, saying check out Ash on YouTube. And that's not just because he just very kindly generated such an awesome boost to the day, but because Ash consistently does this, always is in support, whether it's showing up and commenting or gifting memberships or subscriptions, super chats. Always appreciate it. I'm always grateful. And I'm thankful for everybody here. That's why I do stuff like take a look at the top February membership spot. Roger Enyart, 2066, still there, with that 77 next to his name. Top February single super chat individual to Shy Guy Inc., doing 20 in super chats on one stream. I like to give that highlight, that shout out for the day, for the month. I'm not opposed to, dude, you're a content creator, you're a friend, you're out here trying to do something similar as I am, building up your stream, building up your community. Have some screen space, have a pinned comment. Don't feel shy to, have it up there. I'm happy to help out, That's what makes everybody in the world go forward. Some folks think of the world as, I climbed to the top of the ladder, I have to push my foot down so nobody else climbs up. Some people get to the top of the ladder, scoot to the side, and then reach with their hand to help someone get up and shift over themselves a little bit, or even step down a rung to let someone else have that position, help them out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, I'm not on the top of the ladder of YouTube or anything, but if I have a platform of some type of success and somebody else is so kind as to help out, and I see someone else trying to get there themselves, dude, I'm going to help out. So that's what you got to do in life, I think. Be more kind. Be less greedy, That's just me, though. Whew. Wow. That took a while. And we have 33 watching now, and we have 14 likes. I hardly got to today's topics, and we're already on fire. Thank you all. Matt saying, what's up? Nalacat. Yep, that's me. Right now, I'm out with the chickens. J-Biggs, Mr. NY for life. Hey, my Galeverse friends, I am happy there is a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch upgrade. Yes. Well, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Oh my gosh, what a name. Byzantium is here. Happy PGN Live. You got that right. J-Biggs, thank you. Pokemon fan, that would be pretty wild. Paladin, good morning. Let's see, where else are we? We've got a lot of catching up to do. Byzantium, yes, Ash is a Splatoon content creator, amongst other things, but Splatoon is definitely one of the popular ones that Ash covers. So if you like Splatoon, definitely go give a follow. Give a like. Go ahead and play in the community. Sometimes I'm doing chores or washing dishes or something like that, and I see Ash's streaming or Tabby Cat Games or Roger Enyart, and like while I'm washing dishes, I know it's going to take me 15 minutes or something like that. I'll have Ash's stream going on here, and I'm like listening and watching Ash catch a shiny in Pokemon Legends ZA or playing or going around the town touring. It doesn't mean that I could type and comment as often, but I could watch, I could listen, I could up, and blow off my fingers, dry them off, and type, and like, that's fun. It makes any chore go by easier when you're listening to someone having fun. It's all good, Oh, let me see. If I didn't say hi to AJ Rax earlier, hello AJ, good to see you here. JM Powers is here. Hi, Paul and chat. I bought Xenoblade X on Wii U, and I couldn't get past the tutorial. I don't know how to attack anyone. I kept getting killed. What I would recommend, JM Powers 83, is if you have the Wii U version still, go on YouTube and watch somebody get through the tutorial as they talk and play so that you can then emulate it and then finally, move on to that next part. Just get past that little hurdle. Watch someone do a playthrough. Maybe you're missing something like, oh, you had to hit the A button there? Oh, you had to close the menu? Oh, certain things like that that, you didn't think of for one reason or another because, games can be complex. And then have fun. Or, pick up the game anew on Nintendo Switch 2, still go ahead and watch someone do a playthrough session, and then play through that game, in a more grand level on NS2. Joycey J69, hi Paul, hey y'all, hey Joycey, welcome, welcome. Wow, a lot of characters in the chat. Leon Kennedy and the Penguin. Leon Kennedy and the Penguin. I don't think I follow that. Is Ed Nigma in the chat too? What about Peter Parker? I guess you're talking about the names that got read off? Okay. You just upgraded, AJ Rack says, your Xenoblade Chronicles X2 game to Switch 2. Awesome. Awesome. We're 1 week away from the first pitch of the first game of the first season of Banana Ball Championship League. Nintex 2 Dope is here. Ladders are elitist scum. I'm a rebel. Yeah. Jacob. Paul, I have the idea for tomorrow's Today in Gaming History. Today in Gaming History, February 20, 1987, Contra launched for the arcades in Japan. Perhaps. I don't know if my Wii U still works. What are the sales? Yeah, we've got to get to that too, right? Regarding gaming history, yeah, I did read off Leon Kennedy and Oswald Cobblepot. Yeah, those were part of the 50 names. Regarding gaming history, so there's usually somewhere between like 50 to 70 games that I go through of what are the potentials that I could cover in a gaming history post. There are heavy hitters, small gems, personal favorites, established franchises, notable anniversaries, smaller indie releases, consoles, games with their original Japanese debut, titles that I physically own, the North American, version of, movies, TV shows adjacent to games based off of gaming IP and stuff like that. So there's no shortage. I certainly won't do everything every day. It would be like 70 videos a day. They wouldn't get seen. They would get lost. They would get absolutely lost in the crowd. But there is reason sometimes doing more than one. Like today I did Fire Emblem Fates and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Yesterday I was looking through my list. I was considering doing a few, but chose just Horizon Forbidden West. Tomorrow, Contra is a possibility, but there are a couple of other ones too. So, we'll see. I have a couple of really good ones planned for March. I'm always living off of tomorrow, but I do have things planned in advance of like, that'll be a good one for that game a couple months down the road, CBH says, what's up? We're starting off the stream hot. That's what's up. Now that a direct didn't happen this week, we have to wait until March to get it, probably the first or second week of the month. Maybe. I mean, we did just get a Animal Crossing, Xenoblade Chronicles X announcement today, which is pretty sweet. We have Zelda's 40th anniversary this Saturday, so there's a possibility of a Zelda Direct, but safer to expect not than something, right? I guess. Mario Day is March 10th. Mario movie is April 1st. So, we have things to look forward to. But as far as a direct, maybe it will be in March as a general. Pokemon Presents next week, though. That counts. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, there's stuff though. Fallout 4 pre-order, downloading it now, waiting till the 24th to play it. Can't wait for the Pokemon Presents. The stream is also plugged on Twitter. Thank you, Ash. Nalacat. Hey, Paul, I got Hollow Knight on my Switch and just defeated the first Hornet boss. So I was wondering if you've ever played Hollow Knight. Yes, I have. Yeah, that's a really good game. I upgraded it to the Nintendo Switch 2 version. Only played it for a couple of minutes, though. But maybe I'll replay it. I just don't oftentimes replay games, but I'll revisit, Brian Stitt here. Hi, Mr. Paul. Hi, Brian Stitt. I'm so ready for Resident Evil Requiem. Yeah, you know what Resident Evil Requiem makes me want to do? Is have a live play session. But I just don't have the setup for it. I would probably have to buy a second Nintendo Switch 2 dock and a capture card so I could play in here, picture in picture, and get scared with all of you. That would be fun. Just, jeez. Everybody gets scared at the same time. Probably not going to happen, but would be cool. I'll definitely be giving my impressions of the game, one way or another. Everyone has time to beat at least one game before the next Direct. That's probably true. I just ordered the new Mario Tennis game. Cool. Steak1024 is here. What's up, Steak? Ash Gaming 17. A Zelda game that needs a remake is Phantom Hourglass because it's an interesting game and it has multiplayer. Yeah. Phantom Hourglass, I still have it. I don't have it here at the moment, but I still have it. It was pretty good. It's also from a system where it really made they really made us utilize the touch mechanics and stuff. Not that it cannot be replicated without touch mechanics, but now you have Nintendo Switch 2, which is a system that can totally function with a touch mechanics. I mean, whether you're playing in portable mode, actually touching the screen, or in TV mode with the mouse as pointer controls, you could make it work, or motion controls of some sort, or even dual analog. You could find a way to make it work. So I agree. It would be nice to see Phantom Hourglass come back. And maybe Spirit Tracks as well. I think they'll eventually come out in some fashion, whether they're remakes or remasters or just straight up ports with some, HD up-resing. I'm super hyped for Resident Evil Requiem. Do you think the next Zelda and Mario will use voxels like DK Bonanza, destructible environments, enemies, buildings, etc.? Good question, Blanky. Even though I don't think they'll have the same mechanics as Donkey Kong Bonanza in the sense of let's destroy the world, That's the point. I could see more destructibility in the world, in the environment. The point of the next Mario isn't to smash through all of the terrain, but there are areas that do have a lot of blocks, and a lot of those blocks will break up into smaller pieces, and those smaller pieces of rubble will stick around. And if you do a ground pound, maybe you could do a slow-mo thing where the rubble from the bricks floats up in the air, and then Mario does a punch and it flies. Or Link does throw a bomb at a block wall, it does shatter, and then he uses a time freeze and a swipe of stasis to propel all of the things, and like there does add some tangible breaking world components. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. That'd be cool. Didn't something come out for Super Mario today? The Super Mario. Oh, yeah, the My Mario came out today at the New York store, San Francisco store. A PGN gaming session? Don't spoil us with a good time. Ah, it would be fun. I only got scared playing Resident Evil once. That's good. Paul, you'd have to play in the dark, and when Peach comes, she'd scare the crap out of you. Yeah, could you imagine? Just turn off the lights, make it dark in here. Maybe have Samus Aran glowing for good measure, and the King of Red Lion statue glowing or lit up, so you all could have something to see. And we're just playing here, dark, dark, dark. Reading the chat a little bit, but kind of zoned in on the game. And then all of a sudden, Peach's little paws tick, 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 tick behind me, and then rub up against my leg at the same time as, somebody grabs you in the game. Ah! That'd be pretty funny. I would laugh. I'm laughing now at the thought of it, so it would be pretty good. In the moment, I'd probably be freaked out, but yeah, it would be good. Ash asking, have you played the multiplayer in Phantom Hourglass? Only a little bit, unfortunately. All of my friends did have a DS, but not all of us. I had Phantom Hourglass, but not all of us did. Although, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Phantom Hourglass might have been a game share title. I know I played it briefly, the multiplayer component, but I don't remember if I played it because I did share it with friends, and that's why it was only a couple of times, or did a couple of those guys do have it, but not everyone did. So briefly, did you play Phantom Hourglass's multiplayer mode more, Ash? Because I liked it for what it was. Just, I don't have a long time memory of it. Like, I also played a few times The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Link's Awakening, the Nintendo GameCube version. Played that several times with friends. Again, I have it. Not everyone had it, but a few of us did have GBAs, so yeah. There are several games from that Nintendo GameCube era that were very interesting, and then the DS, era after it, but you did have to have quite a bit in order to fully maximize the experience. But if you did, man, you had a really good time. David, you're terrified to play Resident Evil. You should do a countdown for Pokemon Presents and Pokopia. The Pokemon Presents hasn't officially been announced yet. This is the date and time, so I could just go with the 27th since they said, well, that is Pokemon Day, but we'll see. For Pokopia, though, perhaps. What's not a perhaps is Roger Enyard saying happy Thursday to us all. Very happy Thursday. Thank you so much, Roger. Let's get your name on here. And a giant thank you for bringing us up now to 61 for the stream. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. It is indeed a happy Thursday. And it's a good segue to get into some video game sales. Let me catch up on some chat. Thank you, Roger. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. The King of Red Lions glows. Yeah, kind of. The water beneath the King of Red Lions on my statue, it glows. It doesn't glow. It lights up. It lights up blue and stuff. Zombie Peach. I don't have the game, but I saw promotion for it when I got my copy of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That's cool. Pokopia has been announced. Yes, I was talking about the Pokemon Direct. Hasn't officially been announced. Countdown to Pokemon Day. Yeah, I could just do a countdown to Pokemon Day. It's true. Yep, that's true. I usually don't watch the Pokemon Presents, at least not live. I was never a big Pokemon guy. Let me see. What's Pocopia's release date? Pokopia release date. March 5th. And that's 16 days away. It would be a short countdown series. But I could do Pokopia, maybe. Part of it is balancing everything. We do have a pretty good amount of gaming history things happening between now and the end of March. It's a pretty big time, especially thanks to Nintendo Switch coming out in March and stuff like that, you know. Got the movie coming up of Mario Galaxy movie. That one has been having a once a month countdown up until probably March 1st, and I might ramp it up, but we'll see. Pokopia is possible. If we knew a week in advance for sure Pokemon Presents, I would say yes. Just for Pokemon Day, maybe. So all three are kind of maybe. We'll see. A good idea, though. It's a good idea. Let me read one more comment, and then we'll get into some sales. I'm going to leave Ash's page up here, though, but we're going to scroll over to sales. Let me read one more comment, though. Hello, Paul. The release date for the Duskbloods leaked on the Australian and Finnish Nintendo websites, March 26th, but one got deleted quickly. So do you suspect a Nintendo Direct soon? That's one of the topics today, Graceful Requiem, but we could talk about that real quick. Yeah, I saw that. March 26th is pretty specific. It's not like December 31st. That's always a placeholder, you know, when a retailer says, coming December 31st, 2025, or whatever. That's just a placeholder. March 26th, though, that's a little bit more specific. Getting the new screenshots, having a couple of retailers kind of corroborate. Australian, Nintendo, Finnish websites. I'm liking it. It would make sense to have a direct before then, maybe even, next week or something. Do you have a Nintendo Direct and a Pokemon Presents in the same week? Whew, you could. I would think you'd want to spread it out a little bit more. But if you have a Tuesday or Wednesday Direct, and then on Friday you have the Presents, 2 to 3 days in between. That seems like a very busy week. Is it possible? Yes. Nothing is ever impossible in the world of video gaming and gaming announcements. Is it likely? I would say it's less likely than likely, but it's possible. Because if I were Nintendo, I would want to promote that game for a couple of months leading up to it. So what if you skip next week and you promote it like the following week, March 4th or March 5th? Still, you're barely looking at 3.5 weeks or something like that of promotions before the game comes out. That doesn't seem like a lot of time. Maybe you don't need a lot of time. I don't know. Or maybe the whole March thing is a little bit of a inaccurate placeholder drop of sorts. I don't know. Boo Mini is here. Paul Gale kick stats. Switch sales his jam. Yeah. I have a good guess what game might get featured in gaming history on March 10th. LOL. Pokemon Presents. Shorter time. Yes. Boo Mini 5606 is here. Hi, Boo Mini. That release date feels too soon. However, for Duskbloods, marketing-wise, yeah. I would think October, but who knows? Okay. I'm caught up on chat for now. Let's get into some sales. These are the Famitsu sales for the week of February 9th through February 15th. These are physical sales only, in Japan only. I'll read off software, and then I will go to hardware. By the way, 45 watching, 30 likes. That's 75% of you all here are liking the stream. That's a pretty good number. Thank you. All right. In first place, Yakuza, Kiwami 3, and Dark Ties for PlayStation 5 with 58,000 copies sold. In second, Mario Tennis Fever on Nintendo Switch 2 with 39,000 copies. Third place, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined on Nintendo Switch with 32,000. In fourth, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined on Nintendo Switch 2 with 23,000. In fifth, Yakuza Kiwami 3 for PS4, which moved 19,000. In sixth, Yakuza Kiwami 3 for Nintendo Switch 2, which did 15,000. In seventh, the PlayStation 5 version of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which did 11,800. In eighth, Neo 3 on PS5, which moved 9,700 copies. In ninth, Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch 2, which moved 9,400 copies. And in 10th, Animal Crossing New Horizons with 7,200 copies on Nintendo Switch. It's a little bit interesting to see. Yakuza, for instance, is a more established franchise on the PlayStation family of systems than Nintendo, right? It came to Nintendo Switch 2. It's been on PlayStation for a while. And here you see the PS5 version with 58,000 and the PS4 version with 19,000. So those are considerably higher up above the Nintendo Switch 2 version with, just under 16,000. How will they fare next week remains to be seen. It's a single-player game, probably some good drops, but hopefully they all hang in there. Oh! Speaking of hanging in there, woo! We are hanging good with Roger, just sending 10 gifted memberships, bringing our stream total to 71 today. Heck yeah! Big win, Roger. Thank you. Major shout out to Ash and Roger. Gosh, that's a lot of new subscribers today. Oh, hold on. I have to. Whoa, we're at 510. I forgot earlier that we got to 500 today. And then I looked over to update Roger's 10, thinking oh yeah, are we at 460 now? No. We already hit 500. We're at 510 now. Woo! Only once before did we hit 500, and we're at 510 now. This might be the highest. I don't remember what the old highest was. It was 500 something. It wasn't 500 exact. It was like 502 or 58, 516. It was low 500s. It wasn't like 550. It was like 516 or 508, something like that. So 510 might be the highest if it was like 502, 508. If it was 516, I guess it's close to the highest, but it's freaking awesome. That's what it is, dude. This is looking good. Ah, I love it. Thank you so much. Huge support today. Who were the 10? We gotta dissect some more of these sales, but Roger just interrupting me. Thank you, Roger. Astro Sans, Bobby Reed, Monkey FB, Caleb Marshall, Y Squad Gaming, Nicole Jest, Purple True Pack, Daniel Gizlak, Isaiah or Isa, I think it's Isa's 630, Solomon McNeil. Those are the 10. And we have 51 watching now, which, by the way, for those of you that might be new watching, we do give out free eShop gift cards on this channel. There's been a lot of them that we've done. If you hang around here, if we get to our total, which, by the way, whenever we hit 128, we give back 10. You're looking at a 1 in 50 chance at getting a gift card. That's not bad. It's a $10 eShop gift card. We give them out. We've done many of them over the last several months. It's pretty awesome. Community's got good support. So hopefully you're hanging around just for the video game news, entertainment, and sales data. But if you need some more incentive to hang around, $10 eShop card, that's not bad odds, 1 in a 50 chance. Usually even better because not everybody enters. And it's free to enter, by the way. But 54 watching and 33 likes, those are some good numbers right now. Let me see. So on the Yakuza side, I'm expecting all 3 to drop, but it will be telling which one drops the least. So probably the PS5 version will still be higher than the Nintendo Switch 2 version next week, but what if the PS5 version drops by this much and Nintendo Switch 2 version drops by this much, still being higher, PS5 over NS2, but could NS2 have a more gradual decline? Perhaps. But it is just a franchise that has more familiarity with the Sony fandom than Nintendo's. But I think Sega is seeing, oh no, there is room for this to grow on Nintendo. And that's why you had, Yakuza several months ago, and then now you've got Kiwami 3. So it's growing. Meanwhile, Dragon Quest VII, there's a franchise that's been on Nintendo, been on PlayStation, been on Nintendo, been on both, / everything. You could clearly see it is that Nintendo Switch version followed by Nintendo Switch 2 version, definitely in the lead with 32 and 23,000 respectively over the PS5's 11,000, Kind of funny for the week seeing Mario Kart World be so low, right? In 9th. But that's what happens when you have a number of new titles. You've got like 4 new entries on the chart this week, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Let me get some more chats read, and then we'll go into hardware sales. Did anyone play the demo of Pragmata? The game is great. Can't wait for that to drop. Yeah, I did. I only downloaded the demo on the Nintendo Switch 2. What I should do actually is go ahead and download the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 version just so that I can make a comparison, because I see people complain online, and then I see some people praise online the Nintendo Switch 2 version. The hair isn't as luxurious on it as the other versions. Yeah, okay, fine. But I also see the comparisons of like, dang, it looks really good. Now, in my honest eye, I can see, yeah, some extra hair fidelity in, a PC, Xbox Series X, PS5 version, whatever, of the game. I'm not denying that. It's true, it's there. But I also can acknowledge that, dude, you're looking at quite a comparable game overall in terms of what is being presented on screen. Textures, resolution, animation quality, particle effects, things happening, sophistication in the mechanics, operating smoothly, similar frames, etc. And that's the reality. I guess playing it myself, I'd be able to give you my true, honest feedback live from the source. But from what I've seen, looks pretty legit all around. Definitely a fun game, though. Let's see. We might get a direct this spring. How much do you think the sales for Yakuza Kiwami 3 will be affected by the controversy around it? I think it's going to sell as good as any Yakuza game, as long as it's done well, aimed at the proper audience, mature audience. Then yeah, it'll be just as good as past Yakuza games. Is it March 26th also Wonder Switch 2 Edition? Yeah, that's coming out next month. Let's see. Mwahahaha. Sony is back in #1 spot in Japan. Sony is great. Nintendo doomed. The text too dope. I know who you sound like somebody right now. You sound like I read that as a joke by you, Nintex too dope. But the way I read it sounds like something that someone else really believes. Jeez Louise. But that's software. We'll go into hardware in just a moment. J-Views is here. Nintendo is doomed. It's official. Nintendo's doomed. Everything's doomed. You heard it here first. Doomed, doomed, doomed. The only thing Nintendo is doomed on is probably getting Doom the Dark Ages, because Nintendo is crushing it. I've also heard that Microsoft's Xbox is doomed as well. Well, unfortunately, that is slightly more accurate, as Xbox has not been doing well this generation. But they're making money. Game Pass and distributing their titles on other platforms is making them money still. So, Y Squad Gaming says hi. Charlie Smith, that wasn't a leak for the Dark Ages. It was for a Doom pinball game. Xbox sales aren't that pleasant. I want Doom the Dark Ages for Switch 2. Yep. I enjoyed your story last night about how you grew up finding Zelda. Okay, published 2. That was to Joy CJ. Okay, got it. Let's see. Matt, if I had to guess, if a direct is happening in March, it's the second or third week. Resident Evil Requiem is going to be the real Switch 2 showcase regarding impressive graphics, in my opinion. Yeah, Huddy40. So, unlike Resident Evil 6, which technically has a PS4 version, Resident Evil Requiem is only for PS5 on that side, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch 2. So you're getting a modern AAA big publisher, Capcom, strong, long-time developer, knowledgeable developer, Capcom, established IP, powerful franchise, Resident Evil, new release, several months into the console's life, in which they've had some dev kits for a while now because they were back at launch with the likes of Street Fighter 6. They have been doing stuff, announced stuff early on, Monster Hunter Stories 3. They've got Pragmata, and yeah, they've got Resident Evil Requiem. I think it's going to make people say, so this little device this big plays what these big consoles do quite comparably, and you could take the freaking thing on the go. Wow. Nintendo Switch 2. It's its own portable 1080p TV, its own power cord to the wall, its own source of electricity that you're magically getting from, your power cables that are going to your house, its own source of power from the TV to the wall, its own Ethernet cord powering it up via Wi-Fi internet, though, and its own table with the kickstand, and its own 2-player controller device, cords and all, which is wireless, for you and a friend, all in one machine, and being a video game console. You just realize how cool Nintendo Switch was, and now Nintendo Switch 2 is. And you could play this modern game like Requiem to quite a comparable level on TV, and pretty damn impressively so on the go. Many people fell in love with the system 9 years ago, 8765432 last year. And many more people are going to fall in love with Nintendo Switch 2 for similar reasons. That, wow, these big blockbuster experiences, I can play here. I could accept a little trade-off because I also take it on the go. Parents with kids in the back of the car on car rides. Folks who commute via bus or train or plane or have breaks at work. Folks in high school or college, university level. Dorm life folks. People vacationing. Families. People without a lot of space and not a lot of big TVs in their apartment. Nintendo Switch 2, man. It's the real deal. Only the haters are gonna hate for no reason. Otherwise, it is the best value in modern gaming. Okay, let me get a couple more chat and then we'll go to hardware sales. Legacy of Kain remake is coming to Switch 2. Beat it years ago on PS2. Sketches of Harmony. Hey folks, just lurking. A tip for Pragmata. Turn lens distortion off for a clearer image. Good to note. Looks like Sony just closed the Blue Point games. That's sad to hear. Wow, that's another studio. Ooh, that's not the best. I'm sure you saw the news about Blue Point Studios. I just found out right now. Such a shame. Sony really needs an overhaul from top to bottom. Such talent gone to waste. Wow. Yeah. Paladin and J Views, you just, brought that to my attention back to back. Blue Point is gone. But what's not gone is we just hit 40 likes. We were at 35 not too long ago. We're at 41 now. Heck yeah. And 61 watching. You know what? I bet you if those 41 likes turn to 61 likes, we would probably jump up in the algorithm on YouTube and get to 81 viewers right now, because YouTube would be like, hey, not only does like 66% of the people watching like it, but 100% likes it. Let's go. So, if you don't mind hitting that like button if you're having a good time, thank you. But regardless, thank you all for liking it. Pokemon Fan 34 saying, Nintendo 64 people here? Heck yeah. I see that number is fluctuating. Howdy 40. I could be wrong, but the impression I get when it comes to the haters is it's a classic loud minority. Absolutely. Seems like most people with a life don't waste their time hating on consoles, etc. Very true. Very true. It really takes an interesting individual to not like something, go to a channel or a stream or a page that praises something, and goes in there where you don't really belong to hate on something, right? It's like, we're talking about video games here, correct? If somebody out there hated video games, could care less about Nintendo, Sony, Mario, Microsoft, The Last of Us TV show, God of War, ooh, actor coming back, oh, Galaxy, Happy Meal toys, Nintendo, Zelda, nothing. Someone could care less about gaming at all. And they came into this stream to make fun or belittle me, you, whatever. It's like, what kind of person does that? You got nothing else better in your life to do than to go where you don't belong to a zone that you dislike just to rain on someone's parade? Why? You know what I mean? But people do that with gaming and franchises. Like, known non-Nintendo fans will go to someone's pro Nintendo post and crap on it because they don't like Nintendo. Well, why bother? You weren't baited. You weren't asked to come here. What compels you to talk? Live your life. Live your life. Have fun. It's attention. And some people just need attention. And some people, they're not getting positive attention for the good things that they're good at in life. So they would rather have more attention with the bad things that they could exhibit. Because at least someone's paying attention. I agree. Yep. Okay. Let's get to hardware sales. Let's get to hardware. Hardware's a little bit different. The best-selling hardware in Japan for the last week is Nintendo Switch 2 with another 57,779 units sold. In second, look at the jump here. Nintendo Switch with 26,481 units. In third, PlayStation 5 with 11,588. In fourth, Xbox Series with 755. And then you got PS4 in fifth with 25. Look at that Nintendo Switch OLED with 20,000 of the 26,000. That's a popular model. The Nintendo Switch OLED model is a really strong, popular unit of Nintendo's worldwide, but also in Japan. You know? They got a significant restock, and they all sold it, you know? They sold out. Nintendo Switch is doing really well for the year. Barely a month and a half in, and in Japan alone, 137,000. PS5, 100,000 for the year so far. Nintendo Switch 2, almost 2/3 of a million. 646,000. Amazing. And it's interesting because you could look at it from this perspective of, despite a pretty significant piece of software coming out for PS5 for the week, right? It got the number one spot, didn't do anything for hardware. It didn't bump it up in the slightest. I mean, it went from 11,130 last week to 11,588 this week. That's not a jump. I mean, that is 458 more, but, that's not a jump. Nintendo Switch 2 a little bit down, Nintendo Switch way up. Yeah, you're looking at another year where you're gonna have another, million plus selling Nintendo Switches in Japan, another few million worldwide, and you will be approaching 159 million by the end of this year globally, and you'll be hitting 160 by summer 2027 unless Nintendo ceases development of the Nintendo Switch, closes down the manufacturing lines. Unless if that happens, Nintendo Switch is going to pass 160 million sometime summer 2027. If I'm wrong, it won't be past December 31st. Graceful Requiem asks, how did you manage to stay positive and not become jaded and bitter at the world as you got older, Paul? Good question, Graceful Requiem. Not to be like a a woe's me kind of situation, but it could have gone not in the best way for me because I did have my share of racism and being the black sheep, so to speak, the leper, the cast out, the person that you know was different, that was belittled for a good few years, like sixth, seventh, eighth grade. You know, I was the racial minority in my school in that time, and there was this drastic shift in, despite being the minority in the same school from like kindergarten through eighth grade, it didn't matter from kindergarten through fifth. But there was a shift into sixth grade where all of a sudden being different meant something. And, my life school wise wasn't too hot for those 3 years. High school, it wasn't like a racial minority situation, but it was a different situation. It was, how you dressed, how you talked, how much money you had or your parents had, or what kind of car did you get dropped off in, and that kind of thing. So once again, a different type of minority, a different type of unpleasantness cast my way for those 4 years. So like for a good 7 years, I had other things that were positive. I had mom and dad, I had neighborhood friends, I had martial arts, I had Boy Scouts, I had video games, I had other things to look forward to and to keep me glued and centered and still cool, fun. But school makes up a big portion of your life, especially, as you are a kid. As you get older, school makes up a smaller part of your life because you've lived longer at that point, you know what I'm saying? But these pivotal years of like 12, 13, 14 through like 16, 17 years old, school's a big chunk. But I guess despite feeling the effects of, oh man, this is how some people are, it didn't turn me into them. Unfortunately, I see a lot of people, you only know what you've been given. If you've been given a bad hand, if you've been dealt junk, you only know how to give junk and to be negative, to be nasty right back to others, It happens. It happens in families, unfortunately. It happens in society. Sometimes, though, you get a taste of what it's like, and it makes you decide, I'm never going to be like that. I'm going to try to use, whatever junk I had to deal with, and then flip the script, turn it around, make sure I'm not like that, to look out for others in need, and to reverse course, use what you've learned that hurt you to help others not be hurt, to be a beacon of light. Instead of get caught up in a mudslide and just continue to spew mud out there, reverse course and clear a nice path and give lightness and cleanness out there. I'm glad that happened with me. I think, parents helped, video games helped, religious mindset, Boy Scouts, martial arts, looking up to Mario, Superman. I mean, different things like that kept me light, kept me happy, healthy, exercising. Oftentimes knowing I could stop this fight so fast. I could destroy you so quickly. But I don't need to show it. I know it. If I could fortify my body and be strong to repel, people's a-hole behavior, I could work on my mind like that too. I could build up a little bit of a barrier, a blockade, a wall to not allow my psyche to be damaged by words. Sometimes easier said than not, though, The whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Not entirely true. But can you build up some resilience? Can you look for more good than bad? And can you try to do more good than bad? Oh, definitely. And oh, it worked. It worked. I didn't become jaded or cynical. I don't mm, fall for everything being said, but I don't turn my nose to anything I don't understand. I keep an open eye. I try to judge impartially, and even though we have our subjective nature, I try to look at the facts and be objective too. Yeah, it's it's all it's all part of trying to grow up into becoming a solid individual, hopefully. And then one day when I would be married, and one day when I would have kids, I could be that kind of husband, and then be that kind of father. And nowadays, these days, I hope I am. Good question. Good question, Graceful Requiem. I kind of spat off for a while on that, but yeah, it's a little bit about me. Love the Switch OLED, perfect size console, amazing screen. I love the Switch 2 with the same size and screen. I think you see some more PS2s on that list, says Eric, 1991. That'd be funny. Yeah. Tall Show. I think either Ash or Roger Enyart got you that new membership. P. Chalice. Paul, what's your favorite karate movie of all time? Mine is Fist of Legend. Fist of Legend is good with Jet Li. Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily a karate movie, but a blood sport. I've always liked Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it's hard to not like Karate Kid. I like Karate Kid quite a bit too. I don't know if I have an overall favorite though. It's going to be fun to see how Pokopia does in Japan. It is. Oddly, getting humbled in life is a blessing that unfortunately not enough people experience enough. And the sooner that happens, the better, in my opinion. Yeah, if you can say, it sounds lousy to say, like if you could suffer, good for you. But if you can go through a little bit of life adversity, not too much to destroy you, but enough to make you realize, damn, that sucks to be like this. And other people have it worse. Oof. It raises your sympathy level. It raises your empathy level up. To, I think, even though you don't understand everything out there, and even though you cannot feel exactly what each person out there has, because their situation is different, circumstances are different, you can kind of just be a brother or a sister in life of like, oh man, I'm sorry what you're going through, but that sucks. I'm here to help or here to listen. And sometimes that's it, A new year, a new you, sometimes a refresh, no matter what it consists of, is refreshing. If that makes any sense. Evil Paul has now been doppelgangered into reality. Ah! Bandrew Witt. I also dealt with a bullying from 7th to 10th grade. It wasn't racial, but I was just a nerdy outcast who was picked on, so I feel that. Glad we came out stronger. Yeah. If you come out stronger, some people don't. Yeah, some people get so crushed that they do something drastic one way or another because they didn't have any positive limb that reached out, a hand that could help. Well, that's tough. I hated school, Pokemon fan. I'm sorry to hear that. Change is good, as they say. I got the shiny Latias in Legends ZA. Ash, you are on a roll. How many shinies? Ash, how many shinies do you have in Pokemon Legends ZA? That's awesome. Dude, you're on a roll. Every stream, you got a new shiny Pokemon. That's pretty sweet. That's cool. Lee J saying howdy. Howdy, Lee J. Tell him, Paul. Byzantium. Heck yeah. I see. Thanks for that in-depth answer. You're welcome. Paul, what did you major in college? Mitch Bengal says, oh, I got my Bachelor of Science degree in kinesiology. That's the study of the human body and the human body movement, the dynamics. How does the body work? How does it move? Which was very fitting for me as a martial arts enthusiast, as an connoisseur of exercise. Here, I love being fit. I loved to fight, and eventually teaching others how to fight and stand up for themselves and be strong and be confident and, empower themselves one way or another. So it was very fitting that, I found a degree that I could major in that was all about studying and expressing and becoming knowledgeable of the human body inside and out. Almost 50 likes. Nice. I haven't checked in a moment. Thank you, Pokemon Fan 34. Awesome to hear. There's a guy that works for the Little W that discusses with me about the energies that we all live and deal with in life's reality, and it's interesting, but also true. Meanwhile, evil Gale Network looks down, arms folded upon Redmond, Washington, Nintendo headquarters, smiles evilly. Doomed. Too much to count? Ash, you have that many? Oh my gosh. If you've got too many shinies to count, that means you definitely have more than one hand's worth. Has martial arts opened your mind and mentality in positive ways? Definitely. Martial arts is... Hey, by the way, 54 watching, 50 likes. I saw that. Yeah, martial arts has been excellent. It's very physical, which is obvious, but it's very mental too. There's a lot of discipline in it. There's a humbling nature to it. There is a sense of martial arts is a full body sign language. You are learning how to use, move, manipulate your body in different ways. It's empowering. There's a lot that you learn. There's a lot that is triggering your brain, your synapses. There's confidence. There's posture that's improved. Oxygen, airways. How you walk into a room. Knowing that you could handle yourself. Not being too cocky to look for a fight or to be bragful, but to be confident. To hopefully help others out, to be someone's figure for whatever they need you to be, I don't try to be anybody's dad other than to the 2 kids that I have, you know what I mean? But sometimes as a sensei, you come off as a father figure to somebody, or as an uncle, or as an older brother, or as a friend, as a mentor, as a therapist. It's a powerful role. But even if you don't become a sensei, it's a beautiful thing to be involved in martial arts. It's the group camaraderie that you get out of it. It is an individual sport, but when you work with a team, it's a group effort to make all of yourselves individually better, more powerful. And that's a beautiful thing. Good on you, Paul. Maybe someone in chat needed to hear that. Thanks, Caps Paranormal. Yeah, yeah. You never know who needs to hear something different, positive today. Yeah. Bandrew Witt agreed. It's scary and sad to think about all of the people who are suffering alone during those formative years. And God have mercy on them. Yeah. I think a lot of the people that go through a tough time, if they had just something out there that was light it would help out tremendously, you know, but some people don't have that. And then how hard is it to climb out of the gutter? How hard is it to climb out when you don't have any help? Gosh. Ash says, I caught that shiny Latias in a friend ball because it's really friendly. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Ash. Holy smokes! Speaking of cool, Roger with 10 gifted memberships. That's cool. That also brings us to 520. I think now we're officially at our highest ever total members. Because remember I said it was like 502, 58, 11, 516, something like that. But it wasn't like 525, 550. No, it was like 516 tops. Hitting 520, we're freaking there. We're at the highest amount of members ever for this channel. Huge thank you, Ash and Roger Enyart, for boosting up this channel today. Wow. Amazing. Hey, Risky. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Let's see, though. Roger, who did you gift a membership to? Pooper X, Nitwit's World, Harmon, Anthony Studio Time, Andrew, 5276, Lean Chesley, Maximum House Shows, Wild Wrangler, Zero Jokes Jason, oh boy, here's a long one, DBX, Widowmaker, The Manly, 8967. Some of your all names are so long. Tough to read, but fun challenge. Pokemon Fan 34 dropping all those fine emoji. David Patterson with some nice emoji. Good looking drops right there. Anyway, I randomly clicked on this video and subbed. Good discussion. Well, thank you, Bandrew Witt. I appreciate that. That's why gaming always has been a hobby I love since 6 years old. Always being here with PGN family and Mike and In Prime podcast families. Always positive vibes. Heck yeah. Nice, Roger. Ash, you want to give me some shinies? Yeah, Ash and Pokemon fan, you gotta trade some Pokemon. Okay, good. Ash is putting up his Pokemon trade code. Hopefully, Pokemon fan, you see it. Risky, if you're still around, what are you playing lately? Because you were here for a moment and then you left. Never mind trade code will be because someone else sniped the code. Okay, talking amongst each other. Okay. Well, geez. This stream, that's the fun thing. You never know where the stream's going to go. Here we start talking about some Duskbloods. We get into some video game sales. We get into some life talk. We get into some Ash promo paging. Don't worry, there's probably like 50 other accounts. Like the Terminator. I'll be back. You know it's true. You know it's true. Oh, man. Let's see. We need to... get in some Xenoblade Chronicles X up in here. You know what? Before we do Xenoblade Chronicles X, let me get a couple of shorts ready to go. This is kind of funny. I'll play that in a little bit. We're gonna watch a couple of things. We'll start with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Some of you might be new to the game. It's a really good game. If you didn't play it on Wii U, and you didn't pick it up right away when it came out on Nintendo Switch last year, now's the time. That's pretty cool. Xenoblade Chronicles X launched, a decade ago on Wii U. And it was a really good game. It was such a big game that it was one of those titles that you really benefited from having an external hard drive to download some patches to, and make the game like fully run optimized on Wii U. Now, though, for only $5 more, you get the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which boosts that sucker up to 60 frames per second and up to 4K resolution. This definitive edition already ended up having some polygon tweaks, some lighting adjustments, some extra bells and whistles that the Wii U version didn't have. And the Nintendo Switch 2 edition now, this is legit. I hope they do this for most people out there who didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, because that would be quite nice, you know. Also, a cheaper way you could go, you could just buy the straight up cartridge in a couple of months in April, but you could buy the Nintendo Switch version for like $40 or something, and then spend $5 for the upgrade. So then you get this $45 version of the game, or of the game for $45, right? That's a possible way to go, and it's not a bad way to go either. What's also not a bad thing to do is to go to this link right here, and just like how we spotlighted Ash earlier, check out Roger Enyart. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, when I was talking about Roger, or when I was talking about Ash, Roger, a part of this community, also streams, and Tabby Cat Games also streams. And speaking of Roger, just as I put this up, Roger, with the Xenoblade Chronicles X update today, super chat. Big thank you, Roger. Getting another 2 in here, bringing us up to 83 total for the day. Fantastic to see. Roger, did you play/beat Xenoblade Chronicles X already on Nintendo Switch? Or did you buy it, hold off on playing it, and now it's like, okay, now's the time? Either way, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I have a friend that got the Wii U version with me, but he had to move, had the Wii U go in storage, and never got to finish the game. And I remember he was like, "Oh, if it would come to Nintendo Switch, I would buy it." Well, it did, but then it was like, "Oh, I'm really saving up for like Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff." Well, dude, now you got the Nintendo Switch 2. He has it. He could go get this Xenoblade Chronicles game that he loved on Wii U for Nintendo Switch and just pay the $5 to upgrade it. Like, now is the time. Now is the time. Byzantium. When is the Paul appearance on Gaming Tab podcast coming? I don't know. If I get invited to a podcast, I'd be happy to hop on. We have to celebrate Zelda 40th. Yes, we do, Mario Master. If Nintendo doesn't celebrate on Saturday, we'll find some time to celebrate. Italian Infernus. A lot of people are saying it's Toad's backpack or Luigi's motorbike, but you could see the blaster pretty clearly, and it's in a holster, so I think it's definitely Star Fox related. Yeah. It really looks like a vest covering a shoulder and an arm. That would be Fox McCloud. That an arm would be in front of the body or folded like this, which is why you don't see any fur in a lower part of the arm. It sure looks like a combo of gray and green that would fit, and it looks like a blaster too. Could it be mechanical operatings stuff? Could it be mechanical stuff on a bike? Yeah. Could it be stuff on the back of Toad's backpack? Yeah. But boy, am I on Team Fox McCloud. We'll see when the movie comes out. Oh man. Ooh, I just don't want to be spoiled. Unless if Nintendo shows it off officially in a commercial or something like that, I want to see it for the first time on screen. Whether it's Fox or not, but it would be super hype if it was Fox. I was part of Operation Rainfall and played Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on it. It was quite the experience. Yeah, I still have my copy of Xenoblade Chronicles and the last story, I think, right in there. I think it's underneath. Wii Fit Plus and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Italian and Infernus, the gift given keeps on coming. What's going on today? Today is shaping up to being a monstrous stream with the $1 super chat, $1 gift amount. Not even one. Hold on a second. I just about to Italian and Infernus with the 2. Unable to finish my words. 522 members. Wow. What is going on today? I can't even finish. Italian and Infernus with a 3. I feel like a WWF referee. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you for the 3 gifted memberships now. We're at 86 for the day. This goes up to 523 members total. The Ash Altar got one from Italian Infernus. Sonic RNH6P got one. And Epic Charlie 02 got one. Thank you, Italian Infernus. Very cool. Roger Enyart saying, I bought the Wii U version but never finished it. Okay, so I like that. If it's been a while since you played the original version, never beat it, then more of the new experience is going to be new. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like a retreated, oh yeah, it's just the same thing. I mean, first of all, if you didn't like the game, you wouldn't beat it again. You know what I mean? But my example with this is Super Mario RPG. I played it way back in the days on SNES, like 1995, right? Didn't play it in all the years since until Super Mario RPG came back on the Nintendo Switch. So it was a little bit familiar, but I didn't have this perfect vision of the game every step of the way for 30 hours or something like that. So it was familiar enough, but so fresh and fun. And oh my gosh, this felt like a brand new experience, yet played on some old heartstrings from childhood, but largely new. I think that's a fun way to go, you know? In that case, I'll buy a remake and I'll replay a game. So I hope you have fun with Xenoblade Chronicles X. I might have to do this upgrade myself. Paul, what are your thoughts on the Mario toys? I actually want to watch that next because I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna check it out because I watched it, but I didn't comb through it. So I want to see more of it, but we will look at that together in just a moment. Let me see if I could catch up to some chat. I think the last thing we're talking about was the Fox McCloud inclusion, possibly. Yeah. Just played some Zelda Twilight Princess. I can tell you it's my favorite, with Ocarina of Time as well. I have The Last Story too. Great game. Totally forgot about that. I definitely need to dust off my Wii and replay it. Yeah, Bandrew. Last Story was good. Michael Hall's here. I made the live stream because I was sick today and I missed work. I'm sorry that you're sick, but I'm glad that you're here, Michael. My dog is laying on my Switch 2. I hope you have a screen protector. He wants to play Switch 2. Get that doggo a Switch 2, that's right. Mario Master, how you doing? When do you think the next Direct will be? Michael Hall asks. There's some wishful thinking that Nintendo will have a Zelda Direct this Saturday for Zelda 40th, or at least a shout out on social media for Zelda. If it doesn't happen, I think one will happen before April 30th. I know that's long. That's still far out, but I think it'll happen before April 30th. Maybe that means March 10th, Mario Day. Maybe that means March 3rd, Nintendo Switch's 9th anniversary, which would come, you know, the week after the Pokemon Presents, like on a Tuesday, or March 5th on Thursday. There's also the possibility that it happens next week. I mean, it's not impossible to happen on the 24th or 25th. It just is unlikely, with there being a very likely Pokemon Presents on Friday, the 27th. So I don't yet have a date in mind, like, I think the Direct will happen here, now, you know, this date. Super confidently. I still need to do Future Connected, and then I have all the other Xenoblades to do. Blue Point Studio closing down. Yeah, I found out about it live on the stream. Paper Zelda would be awesome. That would be cool. I agree. Giving me a link between Worlds vibes. Just playing some Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Make a backup save. Okay, so Ash Gaming. Okay, good. I'm glad that Ash and Pokemon fan that you're working on trading and stuff. I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws currently. That's cool. The demo was fun. Mario Master. I want Ocarina of Time remake. Me too. Oh, me too. Let's see. Let's do this. Because it wasn't in the subject title today, but it is something that I wanted to talk about, and it is something that did pop up in the conversation. Let's do it.
Designed for young children and their parents.
Let me rewind.
My Mario!
Introducing My Mario, designed for young children and their parents. The My Mario collection includes the Mario and Friends woodblock set, designed to stimulate the imagination. Board books, where story time comes alive. Apparel and toys, featuring Mushroom Kingdom characters and more. The It's Me Mario stop-motion shorts featuring Mario and his friends can be enjoyed by parents and kids together. With the Hello Mario app on smart devices and Nintendo Switch systems, you and your child can play with Mario's face and delight in his many expressions. My Mario can provide young children and their parents creative, engaging fun alongside Mario and Friends. The My Mario collection is available now at the Nintendo New York and Nintendo San Francisco stores. A selection of My Mario products is also available at retailers near you. The Hello Mario app is available now as a free download on your compatible smart device or the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems.
Honestly, I love it. I'm a big softie. I was getting, little bit watery because my kids are growing up. They're still young, but they haven't been babies in a while. They haven't been infants or toddlers or like little kids in a while, So watching that is sweet. Watching that is cute. Watching that makes me think back to, oh man, me waking up in the early morning, letting my wife sleep in with my son, doing tummy time on the floor, playing blocks, doing little music with little people toys and ball rolling down the thing, boom, boom, and with my daughter when she's born, walking around with her, talking, playing, lifting both kids up in the air, piggyback rides, going to the park, picking up after preschool, playing little toys, introducing them to Mario and video games and Zelda, little Nintendo costumes, amiibo, Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, like stuff that I still have from my youth, toys that are like almost 40 years old, or at the time, 30 years old, sharing with them. So I'll download the Mario app for sure. Like, heck yeah, I'm going to download that on my phone and on my Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch. Probably I would buy the book. I'd buy that Mario Entertainment book. I like this stuff. I love this stuff. I love that things from my youth are still relevant all these years later that I get to pass on to my kids and that other young families out there get to enjoy. It's cool. It's a beautiful thing. Have you considered naming one of your kids Mario, Paul? It was a fun thought, Graceful Requiem, but I did not do that. I think that in Saturday for Zelda's 40th anniversary, they do like a concert performing the main theme and maybe some discounts on Zelda games on Switch. And a thank you to everyone. Maybe. It's cool. That's an interesting idea. Did you also know the button combo when loading the backup save is the same? Okay, talking about that. Gonna go away from keyboard and lyric. All right. Honestly, I agree, Paul. Will Max, hello. Mario 10 will be huge. Oh man, I would love a Mario Maker 3 with mouse button and such. The retro guy will be so cool. Imagine the next game, Super Mario Maker 3. D. And It gives you polygons that you can manipulate Super Mario 64 style, make your own, you know, stages confined like in that game. Oh man. You know, someone out there would just make Super Mario 64 2. Oh. Oh. It's so cool. Gotta teach them youngins early to save up $70 for the new Mario games. That's true, Talasho. You gotta teach them the value of $1. And you know where your value of the dollar should go? To the bank. And after the bank, to Nintendo. Oh man, what a shill, what a shill. Somebody would say. No. I like what I like. And I'm going to buy what I like. And I'm going to play what I like. And what I like makes me happy. Then yeah, I'm going to vouch for it. You know what I mean? Having a bank account, though, having an established savings is important. Entertainment, though, is also important. You got to do both in life. Mouse mode for Mario Maker 3, yeah. I picked up my Amazon package of my Mario Little People today. Sweet. Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Yoshi, Toad. They were cool. That's very cool. So that is one of the Zords from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers I see in the back. Yeah, Titanus. Yeah, that's a Titanus that my parents and I got for my son for one of his birthdays. I didn't have Titanus growing up as a kid, but then years later they had a newer Titanus that they made with metal parts and stuff like that, so it looked better and is a better quality build than the Titanus from '93. So this is that new, more modern Titanus, which is pretty cool. So that's just the box there. The actual toy is in my son's room. Mario Bros. 3 Shorts is just peak. Oh, that one from the other day? Yeah, thanks. I try to replicate the commercial. Joycey J. Don't answer if it's too personal. Have y'all considered having a few more tiny humans? You're a good parent, and I wish everyone had a dad like you. Thank you for the nice words, Joycey. I appreciate it. No. I mean, just the two. Just the two for us is good. Yeah. I'm very happy with 2 healthy kids. I'm also grateful, personally. Well, first of all, healthy kids, no complications at childbirth for either child or for my wife, most important, But I'm also a little bit extra thankful that I have 1 boy and 1 girl. That did help, and that does help personally, being happy with 2. Because there's always the possibility of, well, what if we had 1 daughter first? Okay, cool. Got a girl. Awesome. And then you had another daughter second. Oh, cool. Another nice girl. Okay. There's that little part of you that's going to want a boy also. Or, on the flip side, you had a boy. Great. Healthy little guy. You have a second kid. Another boy? Wow. Good. Brothers. Good. But you want to have a daughter too? And you know what I mean? We had 1 son, and then 2 years, 4 months later, 1 daughter. So I get to be in life an awesome dad to a son and an awesome dad to a daughter. I get to, share all of my passions in life, my love of video games and exercise and martial arts with them. Raise my daughter up into harnessing things that she naturally likes and gravitates towards, but also be like, here's some of the things that I like that, I want you to enjoy too, and be like, this is a good way how to be a young lady in life, and this is what you should look for in a partner, and this is how people should treat you, is how daddy treats you and stuff, and boom. And to my son, here's what I had as a young boy. Here's what I think you would like. Trust me, I'm going to be right. What else do you like? Let me hop in on that fandom. And here's building you up strong and how to be a gentleman. And here's how you should treat others. And you see how I treat mommy, and you see how I treat you. And this is how you should treat others and be treated, and expect that kind of thing in life, And both kids, hope for the best with knowledge and friendship and social interactions and general kindness to others. And yeah, it's a cool thing. Super Mario 3D with both 2D and 3D design templates would be godsend. Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be really cool. I agree. Tall show, nice emoji drop. Will Max, back then, I was like a kid myself, and I used to love playing a lot of the classic games. Yeah. Man, I love the OG Power Rangers. I wrote the Red Ranger a fan letter, and in 1995, he wrote me back. That's pretty cool, Bandrew. Wit. Yeah. Old school Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that's totally my jam. I'm a fan in general of the series, I watched Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, like Lightspeed Rescue, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, Mystic Force, and then little bits here and there, anniversary episodes and stuff like that. All the movies. I have a lot of my toys. I have, actually right here, my old Dragon Dagger. I love the Dragon Dagger. Classic, iconic. And Saba's back there too. I just happened to grab this. And the Morpher's back there as well. Yeah. Just like my kids watch this YouTube stuff, I'm like, I didn't do this stuff as a kid. Yeah. Peach, yeah, Peach and Mario. That's my doggy and kitty. They're good little pets. Yep, just like my dad. He had my brother, then me. He said he didn't need any more since he got the best of both. That's true. I have 2 girls and 1 boy. So yeah, I'm an awesome dad, and my lovely wife too, lol. That's cool, Will Max. Why doesn't everyone have a dad like you? We're going to have to clone you and Mrs. Gale for the greater good of the planet. Joycey J. Yeah. 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 Why doesn't everyone have a dad like me? Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I'll say I appreciate that comment very much. Unfortunately, not everyone that is a parent probably should be one, or wasn't one with the right other person, maybe too early in life or too late, or just some people just not equipped, I always wanted to eventually be a dad, I always wanted to eventually, be married. Not for everyone. And that's okay. I think if you know it's not for you for one reason or another, you could still be an awesome mentor somewhere. You could be a great aunt or an awesome uncle or something like that. Yeah, that's totally okay. Some folks could possibly, if they want to get involved and like make a difference in youth's life, there's like a big brother program, big sister program, something like that, to help out, or even, charitable donation once in a while to, kids in need, or there's lots of ways that you could do good in life. Power Rangers is so cool to me. I used to love the intro. After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth. Alpha, Rangers escaped. It's time to find teenagers with attitude. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Yeah. Good guitar. Good guitar music. Good. The Power Rangers movie version of the song hits some really good notes. Totally. In Space and Lost Galaxy are my two favorite seasons. In Space has some good music. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rangers in space. Head controls to outer space now. Flying higher than ever before. Rangers in space. Go Power Rangers. Yeah. Let me see. Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy. Wait, I'm thinking Lightspeed Rescue. How's Lost Galaxy go? Far, far away, deep in space, is a galaxy awaits. Power Rangers, Power Rangers, there lies a key to the answer in a da-da-da-da-da. Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Lost Galaxy. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah, it goes Power. No, yeah. Power Rangers, Lost Galaxy, far, far away. There we go. Because Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue is like Lightspeed Rescue. Our city is falling. The planet is calling. Our Rangers will test you. Better make it a Lightspeed Rescue. Jump. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I have a thing for theme songs. Let me tell you. Theme songs stick with me. Commercial jingles. Just the other day, I was singing Family Matters all day long. I couldn't help it. I was just in Family Matters mode. It's a rare condition this day and age. With a newspaper plate. Love and ambition with a family ties. Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, there must be some magic truth behind these grizzled walls. Look at that. I'm getting myself goosebumps just singing it, man. Like, Family Matters was a beautiful show. I loved Family Matters. The Winslow family, Carl. Steve Urkel. Man. Doom, 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 doom. It's a rare condition. This day and age, I just loved it. Such a nice singing, nice voice. I wish I could hear a little bit. I wish I could sing a little bit better. I mean, I don't know. I like to sing. I don't care if I'm good or not. I think I'm okay. I hear myself being okay. So that's all that matters. Because I'm not doing it as a profession, you know? Yeah, the Green Ranger miniseries was like the greatest thing I'd ever seen as a 10-year-old. Yeah. I actually still have my old toys when I was a kid, like Transformers, X-Men, He-Man, and the Masters of the Universe. Got some comics too. Yep. I love it. I have a daughter who is nonverbal autistic. Some things are difficult. It's hard things like my hobbies with her, for instance, but I love her all the same. Well, that's a beautiful thing, you know? And I'm sure that, you know, you bond over different things, and, you know, she probably has her likes and dislikes, as all kids do. And you could share some of the things with her from your past, and maybe some will connect, maybe some won't. But probably she's got her own likes and desires of what's new that wasn't around when, you know, you were a kid, that, you know, you'll like all the same and have a great time bonding nonetheless. Yeah. I hope you do well. Hope you don't both do well. Being a parent is the world. Your kids are the future, and I admire and treasure my 3 girls and boy. Heck yeah. What about Beetleborgs? Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah? Remember that one? And the Masked Rider. I love Sailor Moon growing up. Tsukino Ame, that's where your username come from. That's cool. I remember Sailor Moon. I can't think of the... Hold on. Wait a minute. Mercury. Venus. Earth. Mars. Jupiter. I can't picture it. I can't think of the theme song. But I know that intro. I know the transformation. Yeah. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. But I like Sailor Moon. That's cool. It's sad that we live in a world where the theme songs have gone extinct. Yeah. The piano intro was too good. Yep. What about Tailspin, guys, or Darkwing Duck? When there's trouble, better call DW. Darkwing Duck, let's get dangerous. To Darkwing Duck. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yo, oh yo, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yo, oh yo. Dun 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 dun. Tailspin. Yep, Tailspin. Go Get Coffee says hello. Hello, Go Get Coffee. Bandrew Witt, thanks, Paul, means a lot. Hi, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here again. Family Matters. Yeah. Full House. Whatever happened to predictability? The Milkman, the Paperboy, the evening TV. Well, guess it's all familiar friends waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere is a heart, I feel a calm. Everywhere you look, when you're lost outside and you're all alone. The guys down to carry you home. Oh, everywhere you Gosh, you're getting me some old school right here. What is it? Saved by the Bell. When I wake up in the morning and the dog is on the run and I think I'll never make it on time. By the time I get my books and I give myself a look and the ball's on mine. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. If my teacher grabbed my test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. More good songs. The Cringe Prophet, What Have I Walked Into? Depending on when, I'm just like singing songs apparently now, because chat keeps dropping old school 90s mostly TV shows, and I'm like, well, I think I kind of know that one. Oh, man. Did you do the Pokemon theme song for Pokemon Presents next week? Did I do the Pokemon theme song? No, I didn't. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. These Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em, my heart's so true. Our courage will follow through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon, every challenge across. There's the longer version. I've got energy today. Let's see. Oh man. Perfect Strangers. Is that the one? I don't care anymore what you say anymore. This is my life. Doom, 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 doom. Go ahead with your own life. Leave me alone. Bum, 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 ba da 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 da. Is that Perfect Strangers? Because that's a good song. And that's a good show if I'm thinking of the right show with the right song. Step by step, day by fresh start over, a different every way. People you know, the longer you stay, will make it better a second time around. Although it started off, the years rock going, seemed like all was lost. But to read the future and to pay the cost, you know, will there ever be a second time around? That was filmed at Magic Mountain the first couple of seasons. Then the cast started getting older, so they recreated it kind of, but like at a park/fair, not at Magic Mountain. Great performances, Paul. Thank you, Nalakat. Oh, sing Raspberry Beret by Prince. I don't think I know that. Fighting Evil by Moonlight. Winter Love by Daylight. Never running from a real fight. She is named Sailor Moon. I'd have to hear it. I'd have to hear it to recreate it a little bit better. Digimon, Digital Monster, Digimon, Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon Garland Champions, change into digital monsters to save the digital world. Digimon. Yep, I remember that one. Beverly Hills 90210. Oh. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Ch-ch. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Ch-ch. That one didn't have lyrics, did it? I don't remember the lyrics. Like an Angel. Thank you. Wormhole to the 90s. Yeah. John Doe Jogalo. Good afternoon, Paul. I'm super excited for Xenoblade. Heck yeah. A lot of people today have been pretty hyped for Xenoblade Chronicles X. As am I. Because I did not pick it up on Nintendo Switch, so I might get it now. Because I'm like, it wasn't too far removed from the Wii U version, but it's starting to get more and more removed, and you could get the game on sale and then do the upgrade and have that Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Roger Enyart, who's in the chat, upgraded today. Let's see. Perfect Strangers is Balky and Larry. Sonic Underground, yeah. Some call Paul the songbird of his generation. LOL. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Rugrats. I know of Rugrats and Doug, but I can't think of songs off the top. Sonic Underground Channel 5. Alf! I remember Alf. Yeah, SS4 Moogle. Alf and Oh, geez, there was another show, Harry and the Hendersons. Those were a couple of fun, like, late 80s shows. How did Alf's song go? You know, one day we're going to have a non-copyrighted stream just for members or something like that. And we're just going to take requests all stream long and just play and sing along with any TV intro that y'all want to go over. We're just going to go over and over. That's what we'll do one of these days. Your feet's too big. Can't help it, but your feet's too big. That was Harry and the Hendersons. How did Alf's intro go? I remember Alf. And she's a small wonder. Small wonder. That was another fun one. We'll listen to a story about a man named Jed. The poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day, out came a pool. Something, something, something. A bubbling crew. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. Well, first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. They said California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. The Beverly Hillbillies. Down, 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 down. Remember that one? That was pretty fun. The Andy Griffith Show, starring Andy Griffith. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find at a secondhand store. Probably your favorite song. Your Beverly Hills theme song was not even close, Paul. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills 90210. Well, wait, hold on. How does the Beverly Hills... Beverly Hills 90210 theme song? How did that go then? Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, ch-ch. But there's no lyrics, right? Da-na-na-na-na. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't think that it had lyrics, and I was correct. I forgot several minutes ago how I started singing it or humming it, but as soon as I clicked, before I clicked, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, ch-ch, I knew it. Just needed a refresher. I used to love Alf. Had a snuggle teddy. Yeah. Purple Rain. Seventh heaven. When I see that happy face and it's smiling back at me. Seventh heaven. I know there's no greater love than the love of a family. Where you can go when the world don't treat you right. The answer is hope. That's the one thing you will find. Seventh heaven. Seventh heaven. Yeah. Arf, arf. And then it had the dog barking at the end. How did the Seventh Heaven song begin? Because I just started singing it. It's probably something like that. Yeah. I did Seventh Heaven. Nala Cat. There's only one song Paul definitely knows. Doom, doom, doom. Cha, doom, da doom, doom. Cha, cha, doom, da doom, doom. Cha, doom. Put your arms around me, baby. Boom, da doom, cha, cha, doom, da doom. Can't you see I need you so? Cha, cha, cha. Hold me close against your skin. I'm about to begin loving you. Spin at a medium pace. Play with big they are. Honey, face. Sit on the corner of the bed. You see that shampoo bottle now? Push it in medium pace. Talk about your boyfriends. Now shave off. Punch me in the face. You're right. You're right. Steak 1024. At a medium pace is one of the finest songs ever written. Neither did Doug or Rugrats have lyrics. I didn't think so. Thank you for being a friend. Doom, doom, doom. Travel down the road and back again. Doom, 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 doom. My heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Doom, doom, doom. And if you threw a party and everybody knew, doom, 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 you can't be don't get it, don't mean it. Thank you for being a friend. I'd have to look at the lyrics, but I like Golden Girls. I like Golden Girls a lot. Golden Girls was a really fun show. Really funny. Well written. Alf's song had no lyrics either. I didn't think so. Harry and the Hendersons, yes. Golden Girls, yes. Thank you for being a friend. Dun, dun, dun. Travel down the road and back again. My heart is true. You're a pal and a con. You know what? You know how Smooth McGrooves does different versions of singing? I should do it. I'm not as good of a singer, but actually, wait, does he sing? No, he doesn't sing. He beats and hums and does a wonderful job, Smooth McGrooves. Wonderful job. I should do a probably less good job and sing old school TV intros and have my own, like, sing Golden Girls low, medium, high, deep, add pizzazz, and then just play them all together. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Ernest played Jed in the movie, remember? Yeah. Now I'm going way back. Work and Mindy with Robin Williams. Love that show. Mork and Mindy. Waves Light on the L air. Love the Beverly Hillbillies theme. It's considered the first modern theme song. It was revolution at the time. Revolutionary. Don Knotts, yeah. Beverly Hills had no lyrics. Yeah. The X-Files. See what people are missing if they don't show up to a PGN Live? A lot. It's a concert up in here. And we have Nintendo 64 likes, everybody. Holy smokes. We blasted past 50. Not only did we pass 50, we passed 60. We got to Nintendo 64 likes. However, the viewer count dropped to 38, which means that probably some people were like, I'm not watching this guy who doesn't know how to sing. I tried. Golden Girls, Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is life for me. Oh, my bad. LOL. I had Beverly Cops on the mind. Aha! See, I was good then with my Beverly Hills. I mean, yeah, Beverly Hills 90210. Yeah. You remember Freaks and Geeks? No, I don't know that. This may seem a little corny, but I loved Lassie. Lassie was cute. And watched Little House on the Prairie along with my grandparents. And Bonanza. I remember. My parents have a fun story of like me as a little boy running around the house to certain old intros on TV shows while I was like a 2-3-year-old and stuff. Yeah, some of their old shows. I think Bonanza was one of them. The Addams Family. Ba-da-da-dun. 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 Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-dun. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysteriously spooky. Something. The Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. The Addams Family. Do-do-do-do. Unique. A freak. I think. Yeah. Addams Family is good. Wednesday is good. I like Wednesday. Batman. Adam West Batman. Jack Coney. Hey, Paul. I know you probably don't like creator drama or leakers being wrong, but I have to ask you something. What's your opinion on Andres Restart defending Nash Weedle so much in his content? I haven't seen anything recently of Andres Restart defending Nash Weedle, so I don't know what the context is exactly of, but if it's of, like, I'm just hypothesizing that Andres might be, according, like I say, I have no context, I don't know what's going on, but if I have to guess based off of the comment, I suppose it's Andres saying something to a positive effect of like Nash being correct in the past, wrong in the past, saying right now he has a couple of different reports. Some people saying March, some people saying next week. Hey, the Xenoblade Chronicles thing is correct, but give the guy some slack of March being a possibility. He got this right. Nobody has a full track record. I'm guessing it's something along those lines, correct? And if that's the case, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Because, you know, especially if Andres has had conversations with him. Like I said, I don't know anything of what people are doing, talking about who's talking about who and defending what. Like, I'm just reading your comment, so I'm going off of a base assumption. I mean, I do watch Andres Restart's videos, so I do know of, in general, him commenting on rumors and speculation out there and sharing news in a good way to people. But yeah, if he's vouching for Nash Weedle, there's nothing wrong with that, because one, maybe he has a little bit of a deeper connection to him, or they have had conversations behind the scenes and he values the information that he's gotten right and isn't overly condescending on the stuff that he's gotten wrong and is okay with it and vouches for the person. And if that's the case, then that's all good. That's fine. You know, that's all I guess all I can say on that, because I don't know too much more of what you're talking about, the example and stuff. Nalakat, you're welcome. One of my favorites was Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff. Yeah. X-Files was good, yeah. David, in this case, about half said third week of February, half said March. If I was him, I would not come on a podcast and talk about it in that scenario. We'll see. The theme song of X-Files was great and creepy. 100,000 agree, Paul. %. Who remembers Goosebumps and Tales from the Crypt? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Tune 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 tune. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bow. Goosebumps. Goosebumps show was good. Goosebumps book was really good. Ethan Kunstar. Hi, Paul Gale Network. Hi, Ethan. You remember Who's the Boss? I remember the show with Tony Danza, correct? Oh boy. I need a reminder. Let's see. Let's see if a little bit could trigger. Time for love and a time for place. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Time for laughter and a time for play. I think that's it.
There is more to life than what you're living. So take a chance and face the wind. An open road and a road that's hit. Brand new life around the bend. There were times lost a dream or two. Found a trail. At the end was you. There's a path we take and a path
Yeah, see? Okay.
the choice is up to
Yeah, okay. I needed a little bloop, and then it triggered. Like, I was off on the lyrics, but right on some of the vibe. Yeah. All in the Family. I don't think I know that one. Paul, in one of your shorts today, were you playing with a sharpened sword? Maybe. Yes. I know it lacks lyrics, but I was a sucker for the MacGyver theme song. Down, 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 now, 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 down, now, 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 down, 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 down. Oh wait, hold on, no. MacGyver, that's Magnum PI. MacGyver. Wait, right? Yeah, hold on, wait. MacGyver theme song. How did the MacGyver theme song go? A little bit familiar, but no lyrics. MacGyver is different, the 80s version. Was that not the one that you were thinking of? Hang with Mr. Cooper. Yeah. Oh boy, that was a good show. Hold on. Mr. Cooper. I've got my... Hold on. Now I'm thinking, hold on. Sister, and Hang with Mr. Cooper. Skibbity-bop, bobbity-bee-bop. Yeah. That was the end of Mr. Cooper's. Sister. I used to see Tia and Tamara quite frequently, actually, back in the day. Yeah. Tia and Tamara. Really nice. Really nice, too. Sister, I've got my own style and my own way. With sister, every day. Sister. Yeah, Sister was good. And Hang with Mr. Cooper. Also good. Yeah. Man, YMCA? I mean, sing it? I mean, yeah. Let's see. Where do you start off with that? Young men. Dun, 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 dun. I said, dun, 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 hey, dun, 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 dun. I don't know all the lyrics. Dun, 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 dun. And then, of course, YMCA, you know, dun, 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 dun. Like, guy, you don't have to set free. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, everybody knows how YMCA goes in general, but I need to read the lyrics to go along with the words. Other than that, or beyond that, I'm just going. That sounded a little bit like Peter Griffin. Yeah. So what about Family Guy? Huh? Nobody requested Family Guy here. Although Family Guy is kind of more of a Lois's thing to sing. I was a little too young for the initial run, but played a bunch of GTA Vice City. Love Miami Vice's theme song. Yeah. I used... Let's see. Anybody here remember my Vice City short? Let's see.
Get off the road, moron! I really ain't got time for this. Don't make me get out of the car. Learn how to drive, you sucker! I am so better off walking.
After the day I've had, shut up, sit down, relax. Today in gaming history, October 29th, 2002, Grand Theft Auto Vice City launched for the PlayStation 2 in North America. Pee-wee's Playhouse. I remember Pee-wee's Playhouse. I started a giant Pee-wee chant at a Guys Awards or a video game Guys Choice Awards or a video game awards show quite a while ago. Pee Wee Herman was a guest. He came out on stage. There was a little bit of clap and applause, and I was like, dude, this is frequent Pee Wee Herman. So I just shouted out there. I was in a group of like big guys in a big section, and I just started loud as I could, Pee Wee, Pee Wee, Pee Wee. And you know how a chant goes at a concert or at a venue. You only have so long, and if it doesn't catch on, you look like a moron. But I was in like in a pumped up section. Pee Wee, Pee Wee, Pee Wee. By my second or third, I had a few, and I was like, Pee Wee, Pee Wee. And it became 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, Pee Wee. And then the freaking audience just, oh man, dude, I got goosebumps thinking back to this moment. This was probably like 2006 or something like that. That was a long time. That was like 20 years ago. And, wow. Oh yeah, thanks guys. But he was in character, but the emotion was real. If you ever look back to like Guys Choice Awards or gosh, what was the event? It was that or like video game. I think I'll find it one of these days. And you hear a Pee Wee Herman chant. That was me. That was me. Pee Wee's Playhouse. Great Peter Griffin. Well, thank you. Hold on. Actually, hold on. Let me. Maybe you haven't seen this one.
I wonder what this button does.
Well, I do say, Brian, I believe somebody pushed the button on the other side.
Today in gaming history, November 20th, 2012, Family Guy Back to the Multiverse launched for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC in North America.
I wonder what this button does.
How's it going, Action Jackson?
Well, I do say, Brian, I believe
What's up,
somebody
Super
pushed the button
Power
on the other
Man?
side.
4354. JM Powers, he was great. Yep. Pokemon Fan 34, Mike is live. Awesome. Matt 21155. I'll also never forget when they said that controversial thing happened with Pee-wee, but I'd rather not about that. Yeah. Such a great short for the GTA Vice City. Thank you. That one was a lot of fun to make. Today's shorts, by the way. Let me see. Where are today's shorts? Today. Today's shorts. Wow, that's really good. You legit sounded just like Peter and Stewie. Thanks. Where's my money, Brian? Brian, where's my money? Come on, give me my money, Brian. Give me my money, Brian. Here are a couple of gaming history videos for today before we close the stream. Today in gaming history, February 19th, 2016, Fire Emblem Fates launched for the Nintendo 3DS in North America. Today in gaming history. Simple one. And this one, kind of simple too, but sometimes I have more fun, so if I keep it a simple short and I'm like not out there filming and stuff like that, going outside to make something more grand, I at least want to recreate a famous line or something from a game like this.
Armstrong! I said my sword was a tool of justice, not used in anger, not used for vengeance. But now I'm not so sure. And besides, this isn't my sword. Plus, all you really need to know is that today in gaming history, February 19th, 2013, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance launched for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in North America.
That was my ride-in. Sing the Pee Wee Herman theme song? How did Pee Wee's Playhouse go?
Simpler stores. Get in and out.
I used to
quick.
watch it. I collected an aluminum ball of foil
Take the
thanks
next
to him.
step in treating your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis with Entyvio,
There you
the
go.
only gut-focused.
And pull yourself up a chair.
Okay.
And pull yourself up a chair. Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair. TV short and tight. Those friends have been invited to the wacky TV playhouse. There's a there you do a cool cat, chicky baby, on
Pee
a
Wee's
puppy
funny.
bear. You got a couple of chalk and pen, and the genie who's grand a wish. Calling exclusive at TV's Playhouse.
Oh man. Okay, I haven't heard that in a long time. Oh wow. Wow. Okay, wow. Well, I will plug this one more time just because
Oh,
is the path.
Not that one.
Oh, wow!
I will plug this one more time, and I will probably continue plugging it until it gets 1,000 views. If you haven't already liked or commented, I would appreciate a little bit of liking and commenting on that short I just dropped in the chat. It is for Street Fighter 4. Why is it important to me? Because, dang it, that's the game that made me into a video game character. So it's a special one for me. Yet it's the worst performing short of this whole year so far. And I'm like, why this one? But oh well. But thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you so much to Talion and Furnace for the $3. To Roger Enyart with the $27. And to Ash Gaming 17. Ash with the $56 today. And thank you everyone for being here. I am grateful. This has been a fantastic stream. We had fun with Mario and Xenoblade and Sales and music. Pee-wee's Playhouse sung by Cyndi Lauper. Yep, that's true. That is right. What a high pitch. That's hard. Old school songs, cartoons, music from shows, beloved shows. Good vibes. Beautiful, beautiful vibes. Thank you all for being here. Amazing. Mike Odyssey is streaming now. I think somebody in the chat said earlier, which is cool. So I will take that as word that PG and raid, if you will, you know. And I'll see you all tomorrow for more PGN Live, probably Friday morning, followed by a Friday 5:30 p.m. Pacific time podcast.